Elon Musk is laser focused on the Social Security Administration, the organization that provides benefits to nearly 70 million Americans. Washington Post reports this about the havoc wreaked by Elon Musk and his team. Quote, they came in aggressively. A former official who witnessed Elon Musk's team take over the Social Security Administration said, demanding access to sensitive taxpayer data and refusing briefings on how the agency ensures the accuracy of its benefit systems. They recklessly exposed data in unsecured areas outside Social Security offices, the official said, potentially disclosing personally identifiable information on almost every American to people not authorized to see it. The information comes from an affidavit by the agency's former acting chief of staff, Tiffany Flick, as part of a lawsuit filed late Friday. Flick, who was forced out of her position last month, warns this in that same affidavit, quote, if Social Security's longstanding information security policies and procedures continue to be ignored by the DOJ team, Flick wrote, quote, that could result in benefits not being paid out or delays in payments. The stakes are high. Joining our coverage, Martin O'Malley, the former governor of Maryland. He served as the commissioner of the Social Security Administration under President Joe Biden. Governor, thank you for being here.
Glad to.
Help people understand how much we know and how much we don't know about what's going on right now with Elon Musk's team and Social Security.
Well, we just learned, we just got a pretty credible confirmation of what has been reported that they're doing up there from Tiffany Flick. She was a career person in Social Security, and she laid out on that affidavit what they were doing. The other thing that we know is that they are driving people out, employees out of Social Security as fast as they possibly can. Mass firings of entire, divisions of Social Security, the entire Office of Civil Rights and Equal Opportunity, the entire Office of Customer Service Transformation, telling people they're all being fired for cause. Get a cardboard box, get out today. No, you can't be assigned anyplace else. We also know that they're paying people in cash to leave. And we know that people that were retirement eligible, like so many of the people that keep the IT systems going so that those monthly benefit checks arrive every month, as they have for 90 years without interruption, they're being told if they're retirement eligible, like I said, 40% of them are, we will pay you until the end of the year if you get out now. No need for knowledge transfer. No need to tell us what you understand about how the architecture of this place is put together. Leave now. I truly believe that they are trying to crater this agency and that they are driving it to a total system collapse that is going to happen a lot sooner rather than later.
And actually, let me show you what Bernie Sanders had to say, issuing some similar warnings about messing with Social Security.
You want to hear something that is so horrible, given the fact that we are the richest country on earth, is that 30,000 Americans die every year waiting for an understaffed Social Security to approve disability benefits. Today, all right? Can you imagine somebody's old, they're on disability, they can't get the benefits, they die earlier than they should. If these cuts go through, the number of people who die will go up very significantly. That is not what this country is about, and we're not going to allow that to happen.
What does it mean to take a system stretched to the limit, serving some of the most vulnerable people among us, not just strangers somewhere else, but people in our communities, and try to break it?
Yeah, I believe they're trying to break it so that they can then turn the public against it and say, look, it didn't work. And then that allows them to then privatize it and liquidate it. There were reports in Bloomberg News that in addition to the 20-year-old bros from DOJ that are up there rummaging through the personal data and messing with a fragile system, that they've sent people in equity finance up to Social Security. In other words, the very sort of people that pick over the wreckage of a company after they drive it into the ground and figure out how they can sell off pieces of it. This is not a group of people that want to make Social Security work better. In fact, by the end of the Biden administration, we had gotten every service delivery metric moving in a better direction. And many times I testified in Congress about that fact that Bernie Sanders was sharing at that rally, and that more people die waiting for their initial disability determinations than ever before. And why is that? It's because the House Republicans were already cutting Social Security's staffing down to 50-year lows. And that was before the Doge Bros even had driver's licenses. And now they want to cut it by another 50%. So this is a group that clearly wants to break Social Security. And the good news is, I was at 3 different town halls all across Florida over the weekend, and people are waking up to the fact that they are trying to break their Social Security. My hope is that the people rise up and force Congress to stop them before benefits are interrupted. But that's where we're headed. We're headed to benefit interruptions.
And the other piece, perhaps even more universal, is the access to private data and information. I mean, that's the other part of the affidavit from Ms. Flick. Just talk about how much personal private information the Social Security Administration possesses.
Yeah, well, they possess every earnings that you or I have made since our first summer job that we might have gotten a W-2 for. That's there. It's all in that sort of base COBOL foundation of the IT system that these guys are messing with. But there was another word, you didn't quote it in your quote that you pulled from Ms. Flick's affidavit. She used the term exposing personal data to bad actors. Usually a term that we reserve to people like Russia or China or people that want to do our country harm. Anybody who has to go through witness protection for their own security has to be issued a new Social Security number. So I do believe that these folks are privy to a lot of data that could not only be damaging to us, I mean, in terms of having our accounts hacked and not protecting it. They're also privy to a lot of data that could be very detrimental to the security of our nation. So we should all be very concerned. They are trying to break this agency in order to turn the public against it so they can privatize it, liquidate it, and steal at least a portion or all of the $2.7 trillion that's in the trust fund. People need to rise up.